How's everybody doing today? Ain't much going on here. As you can see, since Saturday we've gotten a little bit more snow. Today's Tuesday. So, ain't been doing much. Just doing what I need to do. Plowing out driveways when I need to. You can see there, we probably got, and some of this is settled by now. The ground is still warm, it's melting, but we got probably a good foot and a half. I think when it all came down, by the time it was done, that last storm, we did get near 2 foot in this area. You know, we get further south here, about 4 miles, they probably had about half the snow we did. Even though they said southern Erie County, northern Crawford County. But again, it's just how the winds come across the lake up that way, where it lands, where it persists. So ain't much you can do. You get what you get. And today ain't too bad. I could be, which would it be? The way the weather's going through the Midwest, through Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, I think they're getting hammered worse than we are. From what I've seen in the forecast though, we're not going to see the bitter cold, what I would call bitter cold. Right now they're showing temperatures in the 20s, lows in the teens. You know, we probably get down single digits here. And then over the weekend they're calling for some teens for highs. But there really ain't what I would call severe weather for this area compared to what they're getting into other areas. But like I said, I could be, the way this year's gone for last year, you know, we had several years just non-stop rain. Couldn't do a damn thing. Last year we had some pretty decent weather. Got on the dry side, but we didn't see any indications like, I would say, a drought, but it was getting borderline probably. Where you take basically where this storm is coming through, where it's going to go through southern Ohio and across the southern part of the state. Them were the areas that had the drought. And now they're going to get hit with this storm. So I don't know what's changed in these weather patterns. It's like all the big rains we had this year split around us. They were either going up into New York State and down in south of us, because we never got really any real big rains, heavy storms. I mean, yeah, we got a couple 2-inch storms there, but there was areas north and south of us, they got hit a lot harder than we did at them times. Just like now, this Arctic cold is coming down, going to the south of us. Looks like it's going to hit into southern part of the state, maybe into New Jersey, and go back up the east coast. So for some reason, a lot of the worst weather seems to miss us this year, which I'm not complaining. I just don't know whether I should be optimistic or pessimistic. I'm pessimistic on everything. But we've had 3-4 years of just total miserable weather, and now we're in a good spell. Or should I say, well, we're in a good spell, eventually we're going to get our share. Which works out for everybody. Everybody goes one way or the other. Next year, you know, we might have the drought, and to south of us, they'll be getting the beneficial rains that they need. So, it's hard telling, but like I say, right now, seems the most severe stuff is missing us yet. We do have a winter weather advisory until 7 a.m. Thursday, but they're saying 3 to 7 inches of snow, which it's basically a normal storm for us. I don't know why they all of a sudden started labeling this stuff severe winter weather. I guess when you watch out west, all these people wrecking cars and stuff because they don't know how to drive and all that shit. People just don't know how to do it anymore. It's like one meme I've seen, I should say. Back in the 60s and 70s, no traction control, no radial tires, no four-wheel drive, no front-wheel drive. People got around with rear-wheel drive cars and bias-ply tires. Now you have all this stuff and people think they're godly and can drive any speed that they want. That the weather ain't going to affect them. You know me, I just assume sit in the house in weather like this It's even like with my truck. Once I start that truck, it's a 4-wheel drive right away with that plow on the front. Yeah, it gives you good traction on the front, but you got all that extra weight when you make a turn. It wants to pull you around. So on these back roads, I'm in 4-wheel drive all the time. If I get on dry pavement, bare roads, and yeah, it's 2-wheel drive again. But you know, that makes a big difference on how the truck handles. So that's just a little update of what the weather is. I'm gonna see if I can go finish up what I've been working on for this next video, maybe attach it onto this. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna check the mail here, and I'm going back in the house for now. Well, how's it going today? I'm gonna have, if I had a clip before this or not, and it depends how I piece it together, but today's Saturday, let's say 11th, 12th, something like that. And you can see winter weather's back, been back. We've been getting a couple inches here and there last couple of days. And it hasn't been all that cold. We got down in single digits the other night, which caused some problems here yesterday that didn't think of. So, and when I came to the barn here yesterday to check on things, that water down there was fine. The pipes in the milk house were froze to the faucets and stuff. I got them thawed out, but I still had water down there. So I figured, fine, no problem, because these waters are supposed to, or I don't know if they're actually insulated, but the way they're designed, they're not supposed to freeze. And this is the float box here. I've shown all this stuff before, but that hole down there where the water comes in, as long as that's covered, air can't get back up in here. And what there is in here, where the pipes come through the ground, you know, these pipes are at least 3-4 foot down, got to be below frost line. And what they do is they make a heat well down in the bottom. And usually you can take like a 12 or 18 inch piece of culvert pipe or some kind of piping where it goes down in there, and then your pipe will come into it, and then you tee up and you come into your valve. And what that does, it makes a heat well down there. It's actually taking the heat from the ground and keeping this pocket inside here hopefully above freezing, so your pipes don't freeze. When you go down there, your ground temperature is in the 40s, 50s degrees, and that's what helps keep that. And then this water is designed for 60 head of cattle, which I guess one water will handle 60 head. So that's somebody drinking all the time. But the main thing is actually having cows drinking so water flows. As the water flows, I mean, water's coming out of the ground at 50, 55 degrees. And it's insulated, being in the ground, coming up into here. And then as long as water's flowing, it'll help keep that. Well, I got 9, 10 in this end of the barn for this water. So it's possible that they won't drink as much or fast enough when it gets bitterly, bitterly cold. Now, like I said, we were down in single digits the other night. The winds were howling a little bit. I mean, we probably had below zero wind chills and all that. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was maybe 15, 20 mile an hour winds. It wasn't. So I don't know if the winds actually came from this direction enough, because that's the other thing. This has basically an overflow hole. And I'm thinking enough air got up into that and was able, because this was froze up yesterday. And I had probably about that much ice. Well, that's one of the thawed out pieces. That's what I broke out of the water off top there last night. Which I didn't think would be a problem, because like I say, that hole was still covered. Well, I guess between the fact that not enough water was drawing and probably enough air got up in that and got this part froze, the float valve, that ended up freezing the pipes there too. So, and then I didn't want to end up having to dump the waterer because somebody had shit in it. I don't know, probably you. But there was shit in there, and you can see it's froze on here now. You can't get it off. So I had to bust the ice out and slosh around, got that flushed out. But then when I did that, like I say, no water was flowing. So what I had to do was got the heat gun. And you can see it over there on the chopper. And basically I just stand here and let the heat blow down in there. Blow it a little bit because you gotta watch, because you can. This side started to buckle on me, melting the plastic. But finally, I say between that, putting that air down in there, I'd wait 20, 30 seconds and then blow it. So push it down in there and get that heated up. And, 5, 10 minutes later, like I say, I don't think it was froze very far down. I think it was all in this upper part. So I got the water flowing. So I got this. And then after I went to the house last night, I got thinking, well, if that's actually coming in here and it froze this up more than anything, I decided I'm going to get a piece of insulation. And I can take this out and show. I just stuff this in here, plug up this gap, and then that would help keep the air from getting down there and helping keeping that air warmer. That maybe I just have to worry about this valve freezing up. And that's the other thing, this damn thing freezes on there, causes all kinds of problems. So, but I guess if that's the extent of the shit I got to deal with, I'm not worried about it. Like I say, it's gonna freeze over time. I mean, we always had problems with this, but usually, like I say, when I had 40 cows running all the way around the barn, drinking from both waters, yeah, you always get that thin layer crust, and I might have to bust it off. And again, like I say, what they should have done, this water should have been probably turned the other way. Probably should have fixed my door and closed the door, but it's not that bitterly cold. And everybody's, oh, it's cold out there, it's cold out there, freezing. Right now, the thermometer at the house says 24 degrees. Even when I came out here last night, when it was down in the teens, and the wind kicking up a little bit, it's not that bad. Maybe I'm just built different. I don't know. I mean, like I said, right now, actually, I'm going to go to the house and I'll start sweating as soon as I get in the house. But then next time I turn around, like I say, I might wish I had the Carhartts on. I mean, I haven't wore Carhartts in 5, 6 years now. I went out last year and I bought a pair of Carhartts specifically because I was helping that guy, and I was figuring, well, we're going to have, by the time he gets done, snow will be flying or something, or we'll get bitter weather. Because everybody finishes corn in bad weather around here. Well, last fall turned out to be about as good a fall as we had this year, where you could go anytime you wanted, no problems. And we got done like the first week of November, which was sooner than they try to be done by the second week anyhow. But so I didn't need them, so they're still sitting. And it hasn't been, like I say, if I was out there plowing snow all day long, yeah, I'd want the Carhartts. But going in and out of buildings, if I was sitting in a skid steer like I used to, yeah, I probably would. But to walk from the house to here to check on, or come over here to feed them and stuff, I'm not worried about putting on Carhartts. Plowing snow with the truck, I got the heater on in there. I don't need Carhartts on for that. Maybe if I was traveling to town or something in bad weather and expecting maybe getting stuck, yeah, I'd probably put them on. But as soon as you put them on, that's where you don't build up the tolerances for stuff. And so you got to expose yourself to some of these things to build up tolerance, just like viruses and everything else. What I got to do now here, I probably should just open this gate and let all these mingle together. But I got at least 2 in that group. They seem to be on the shy side, and anybody looks at them, they run the opposite way. So I got them in with some of the smaller ones, and that black one was one. That one there, that one, I used to have in here with these. But I'd rarely seen her up eating with anybody. She's always laying down, and So I don't know if they were fighting her or not. I mean, never really seen anybody push her around, but the one day I just left her in there with these, and she's got a lot of different look to her. She seems to be a lot perkier. Don't know, maybe just my imagination. But that's why I say you get some of these old, especially these older jerseys. You are probably the worst. It's the littlest ones that they're the worst. But these older ones, like I say, they push them around. But again, like I say, I probably should leave them, let them run together. Either you finally get your order picked or what, and then everything eventually evens out. But, so what I do, like I say, right now these don't have access to any water at the moment. So what I do is I pen them off onto that other lane, and I open this gate so they have the rest of the afternoon here. They can have water, they can eat at the feeder. And then tonight when I come to feed them, I'll chase these back in here, close that gate, open that one up. Because when they're on that alley, that's the problem. When they're on that alley, they have access to water, but they don't have access to feed. And when they have access to feed over here, these don't have water over there, can't get to the water. So I just move them back around so they can get the water. And they can have all the hay they want at the feeder. And I do scatter more out here at night. I say all this stuff here is a lot of, gotta throw that in the back for them. They can lay on that. This is all the stemmier stuff they're sorting out. Maybe the next bale I bring in here will be a bale of second crop. That's what I usually do. I was giving them second crop here on the alley. And then putting the bale first crop in that feeder. So they can, like I say, cold weather, they can have all they want. So, and I'm just debating here, maybe next day or two, maybe I'll try to haul some more of this shit again. It's awful deceiving out there. I don't think it's soft enough right now that I would have a problem. But yeah, it's been down in the teens, but you go out there, get underneath some of that snow, and then the ground's not froze. I mean, we had over a foot of snow there, the original storm here this last time. So and it might not look like that out there. I think we had probably close to 2 foot here, but it's actually melting from underneath yet. The snow is insulating the ground so it doesn't freeze. It's like 2 days ago when I plowed this driveway. I scraped it off and the driveway was still slimy underneath. So I don't know if the ground would be solid enough that I could start hauling some shit out there or not. So, like I say, just have to see what the weather does. We're supposed to get somewhat of a break. It is supposed to get up maybe near 30 here later this week, but then by middle of next week it's back down in the teens for a high. But again, this time of year we usually see single digits and below zero wind chills pretty consistent. So as of right now, I'm not complaining about this weather one bit. I mean, I don't like it. Yeah, we got some problems here and I'm with water freezing, but that's nothing I haven't dealt with before. Nothing I haven't dealt worse of, so. But I guess, like I said, just thought I'd throw a little quick update what's going on here. I mean, I ain't doing any more out in the snow than I have to. I'm only doing what needs to be done. Ain't gonna fight it for right now. And like I say, I've been trying to do one other video I've been wanting to put together, and I've lost some of the papers that I wanted to show. So I'm trying to find that so I can finish that up or get that out there. So, and other than that, I don't know what the hell else to do to make anything exciting. But I guess I get these moved around and I'll go back in the house where it's warm. Figure out something else. I don't have to move any hay today. They got enough hay in that feeder and here to last till tomorrow. And I just put the bale out back there last night. Just wish I could go get some bale feeders. I can't. Found that one out in the pasture. I forgot about that. The one side is busted off, but it works fine putting it in the corner like that. So these are actually wasting less hay. Them down there are wasting a good amount of hay, but again, this is pretty much what they're wasting. I try to give them a break where they are forced to try to clean up and pick up some of that other stuff. And I didn't ask for you I thought I was avoiding you enough. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know I left you to do this. You picked up this habit. And I don't mind it. I just don't like it when I get an ass in the face or muddy paws. That's where I draw the line at. And that's the problem I had there the other day. He wanted to jump on me with muddy paws. And as long as he wants to be right here, it's fine. As long as, like right now, he's turning around sticking his ass in my face. So, I guess. With that being said, I don't know what else to say, but this is what we're dealing with right now, they say. Not much snow, a little bit of cold. For the most part, the weather's pretty damn nice for this time of year compared to what we've had. But I guess I'm going to end this here. We'll go on, find you a place to go lay down so you quit bothering me. And I'll put you up here with the other ones. Another big baby orange cat. Old mama cat. Yeah. You can tell he's an old tomcat. One ear, one eye. Battle cat. Now I'll be starting here pretty damn soon too. Come springtime, you know how they get. But I'm going to get this taken care of and head back to the house.